Welcome, everyone, to this 2K Sports broadcast live from downtown Minneapolis. Now let's get a quick... Welcome. Thank you, David. And in the early season, plenty of optimism for teams. Is there any complacency, Steve, a feeling that you can lose one here, lose one there, and you can make up for it down the stretch?
Well, the good teams, they feel like that. A lot of times you look at it and say you don't take losses as bad when you have a couple star players or impact players out. You figure when we get those guys healthy, you just want to be able to play the right way, and when they come back, then you can start to make your push.
The starters for the Utah Jazz, the tough defending Favors and Gobert make up the big men. Ricky Rubio is out there with Joe Ingles, and it's Hood in at the 3. And stolen by Hood. Rubio at the elbow, and the rejection by Towns.
And his foot movement is what makes Towns such a terrific shot blocker. He moves so well and can defend just about any position on the floor.
And even 3-on-3 break. Here's Butler. Utah with the rebound. This, their first chance to take a look at Minnesota this season.
And as you would expect, they came out on top in last season's series against this club, but no reason to expect anything different this time around.
They just seem to match up very well whenever they play these guys. You can tell they have a ton of confidence.
T kicks to Towns. No good that time. So Utah will take it the other way. Pass to Ingles. Put on the wing. Rubio outside. Gobert with a screen on Teague. Rubio the pass to Gobert. And slam dunk by Gobert.
Crossing up the defense, and that's what you expect from Rubio. Terrific vision.
They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket.
T kicks to Towns. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
And looking at Towns and what he can do on the floor already at his age is impressive. This is a guy who's going to be a 20 and 10 player perhaps for the rest of his career. And as young as he is, I tell you, the sky is the limit.
And when you look at the second year for Towns, it's comparable to other great big men in the history of the NBA. And Greg, I'm talking about players in the top 50 of all time.
Yeah, I mean, just on the sophomore season stats, he looks like he projects to be one of the all-time greats. Comparable numbers to some of the best who have ever played. And think of these names: Hakeem, Duncan, Ewing, and the Admiral. Maybe we'll be saying Karl Anthony Towns as well. And Ricky Rubio, known mostly for his ability to pass it and create opportunities for teammates, but I think he's an underrated defender at that point guard spot, and maybe he doesn't get the credit he deserves defensively.
Yes, that goes in. Butler's got his first basket of the night.
He's comfortable with contested shots. Does a nice job of elevation and concentration at the rim.
Now, here's Rubio. Passes it to Gobert. He dishes it to Ingles. Shot from free throw range, and too long on the shot. And Greg, for Rubio, his defense is something that isn't talked about, but is certainly present all the time.
Yeah, I mean, he's smart, fast, he moves his feet well, and has terrific anticipation with his hands. Great playing both on and off the ball, and just aware of his spacing and a player's tendencies.
And the call is going to be, yes, it is, an illegal screen.
And that's a tough one, but on those illegal screen calls, the defender's never going to get the benefit of the doubt.
Some guys, they just know how to get away with it, and some don't.
Outside Favors. At the elbow, it's Gobert. Back to Favors. Gibson with the steal. And Derek Favors picks up the foul. That is his first foul of the game. For Minnesota, they've gone 1 of 3 from the field to start this one so far. Outside Teague. Pass to Wiggins. Wiggins drawn the double team. Teague for 3. That falls. Nice feed that time from Wiggins.
And you could tell Teague was looking for a shot on that play. Always had his hands up, ready to catch and fire.
And Rubio kicks to Gobert. Outside Favors. Another miss by Utah. Minnesota in the lead. Wiggins dishes to T. Towns the screen. T kicks to Butler. Towns sets the pick for Butler. Count that bucket. Butler's got his second bucket of the night.
Those 220 pounds came in handy. Jimmy Butler using his big body and muscling those tough shots.
Here's Gobert, and the rejection by Towns. Back to Gobert. 6 to shoot. Kicks it to Rubio. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. Taj Gibson picks one up.
Oh, that's not a great foul. For Rubio's career, shoots well over 80% from the line.
And Utah adding another terrific defender this summer, trading for point guard Ricky Rubio. Rubio on a bargain contract the next 2 years. A nice move by the Jazz's front office.
Gibson with the screen on Hood. A floater, and it's Wiggins missing.
That was very tight defense. He tried to force the layup anyway. I think that was a questionable decision.
Rubio against T. Gobert with a screen for Rubio. He feeds it to Gobert. Towns with the steal. Here's Teague. Knocked loose.
No surprise, in a battle of wheels down low, the big man comes away with it.
And the basket by Ingles.
And when you're looking around the league talking about guys with pure point guard skills, Rubio's name is right there.
And another thing with Rubio, the Jazz love to score with the pass. Few better playmakers in the league can double R. Some might harp on his shooting, but he's a quality starting point guard. And really one of the quickest guards in our league. Jeff Teague just puts tremendous pressure on your defense when he's attacking the paint.
Looking at who's out there now for the Timberwolves. Jang, he's checked in for Gibson. Muhammad comes in for Andrew Wiggins, and it's Crawford in for Jimmy Butler. Dishes it to Burks. Jerebko, the pass to Mitchell. A three-pointer, no good. And the book on T. Greg is to make him an outside shooter. You don't want him getting to the rim.
I mean, he's a good finisher around the rim. His outside shooting, although streaky at times, not bad, but not great either.
Mitchell kicks to Jerebko. There's the feed to Udo. Outside T. Jones checked in for Jeff Teague. It's stolen. Here's Burks. A rebound by the Timberwolves. They couldn't put the pieces together, losing that last matchup with San Antonio.
And it's a tough game to lose. I mean, they actually put up a pretty solid effort, I thought. But when you're battling for a road win, even when you play hard, nothing's guaranteed.
You always want to try to steal as many games away from home as you can. They just came up short there.
Hamid dishes to Jones. Five to shoot. Hooks one up, and the layup is good. And the Timberwolves lead by 6.
He knew what he wanted to do all along. The teardrop.
Mitchell kicks to Jerebko. Another miss by Utah.
Hard to figure out how he doesn't knock that one down. No defender in sight.
Crawford, no luck. Guys, they're looking for a spark here.
Yeah, a cold stretch offensively, for sure.
All alone. And the jumper falls for him. Crawford's got 5 now.
Jamal Crawford, throughout his career, one of the best shot creators in the game. He's something to watch when he gets going.
Here's the screen to end the run. He's off on that one. Towns with the defensive effort. Goes up on the high post. They get it again. Controls the rebound and puts it back up and in.
And guys, they've come out and established a rhythm. And also their play calling has been on point.
Well, the two go hand in hand. Matching your strategy to your personnel is key.
Here's Mitchell. That one doesn't drop. And so it's Minnesota with a 10-point lead. Some breathing room heading into the break. They have made it very tough to get a shot off against them. Their defense has been stifling. Right back after this break. And a guy who seems to improve every season.
It's crazy because I never thought that.
And hard to doubt the dedication of Jimmy Butler. He's found a way to overcome obstacles at each important point along the way.
You know, he's a self-made player. And if Butler can stay healthy, boy, the sky's the limit.
Welcome back, folks. We'll see if we're in store for a more tightly contested quarter as we move here into the second. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from the Timberwolves?
A huge fan of how they have rotated here defensively, been able to challenge multiple shots.
Yeah, it's been the defense that has them out in front. But let's see if they can sustain the intensity.
And now, brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset our lineups. And so in the game for the Jazz, they've got Cephalosha, Udo out there with Uredko. Then there's Alec Burks. And it's Mitchell in at point guard.
You look at that lead pass there. He just has such a great feel for the game.
And Greg, you wouldn't expect it from a Coach Thibodeau team, but defense was an issue for the Timberwolves last year.
And the Wolves brought in Butler to help with offense, but more importantly, his defense. And Butler, familiar with what Thibs likes to do on both ends of the floor, has the leadership the team needs, particularly on the defensive end.
Crawford right side. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot two. And to look now at the four areas where shots can come from. The paint, mid-range, and shots from deep, all broken down for the Timberwolves.
And they've been avoiding those deep threes. They're capable of knocking those shots down from long range, but so far they've really been reluctant to let it fly from that free throw line extended three-point shot.
So Utah ends up going with the new group. Drains the three-pointer. And the Timberwolves lead by 11.
I can't understand in the midst of a game you leave an elite shooter this wide open.
And they had some botched coverage that turned into no coverage.
Good, and the assist goes to Towns. And that's now 9 points for Jamal Crawford.
That is one of Jamal Crawford's most dangerous shots. He is quick on the draw with his pull-up J. That's an excellent pass. On time, on target. Great teamwork.
Towns, the screen. Crawford kicks to Towns. From outside the arc. And again, Minnesota with the triple.
Well, if you wonder why they're in control of this game, just look at his stats from the field. Solid, solid, solid.
And the whistle blows as the basket counts, and a three-point play chance right here. One free throw coming up. And some changes here for the Timberwolves. Taj Gibson's checked in for Towns. Andrew Wiggins comes in for Muhammad. And it's Butler in for Jamal Crawford.
Rodney Hood has good size at 6'8". Really uses his frame well to get his shots off.
Jones kicks to Zhang. Wiggins drives in. Wiggins drawn the double team. And he banks in the layup. Wiggins has got the lead up to 14 now for the Timberwolves.
Yeah, you see the killer instinct. He's going for the death blow.
True story. They got a monster lead that's taking a life of its own.
Jones kicks to Wiggins. The three. Up and in. Off to an efficient start. 2 for 3 from the field.
And that's one of his strengths, knocking down those long-range jump shots.
And a first time out of the game called for Utah. And guys, you think of some of the more slippery scorers that are left-handed, like James Harden, Isaiah Thomas, Manu Ginobili. They come to mind right off the bat. Does that give them, Steve, I'll begin with you, does that give them an advantage?
It does, Kevin, and people always would ask me why. Because I don't know why. They're left-handed. They do things different. They do things wrong. they jump off the wrong foot, they drive it differently, and I think mentally as a right-handed guy, you're kind of guarding him how you would play, but left-handers definitely has an advantage playing the game of basketball.
Oh, great ball movement there.
Closing in on 4 minutes played here in the second quarter. Favors with a screen on Teague, and Rubio kicks to Favors. Minnesota with the ball. They're on a 17-4 run right now. And Ricky Rubio gets the whistle that time. That's his first foul. And Smitty, this year the NBA choosing to start the season a bit earlier to cut down on the back-to-back games during the year. Do you think the NBA should spread the schedule out even more? Are you happy the way they have at least gone about this season?
I think the NBA, Adam Silver and those guys have done a fantastic job. I love how they give the guys basically a week after All-Star game. They're starting a little bit early to cut down the back-to-backs. Either way, if you can find ways to help the recovery time is great, but I think right now the league and the games and the scheduling, they're in good hands right now.
Yeah, the defender all over him. And the thing that really sticks out when you look at Derek Favors, his defensive versatility. You know, he can guard the 4s or the 5s on the inside or out, and to have a player like that allows your team to excel.
Hood against Wiggins. Gibson setting the pick for Butler. Buries it down low. Butler's got 8.
Taj Gibson, a dirty work player. Clearing space with the screen.
And despite Favors' size and strength, he really moves his feet well.
And that's tremendously valuable in today's NBA. The ability to stay in front of smaller men in switches and pick and rolls. He has terrific lateral mobility. And he's got such a great touch and feel around the basket. He made that reverse look easy.
Teague, the pass to Gibson. Back to Teague. Outside Gibson. Shot clock at 6. Teague kicks to Butler. Over Hood. Butler, no good. Jazz trail by 18. Favors inside, defended by Gibson. The shot's good.
You know, he's had better starts, obviously, but he's shaking it off here in the second.
Teague dishes to Butler. And they double up Butler. Teague, the pass to Gibson. He kicks to Wiggins. Gibson the screen. That's a 2 from Butler. Keeps it alive. Great positioning on the putback. Chang's got his second basket.
You have to box him out or he's going to beat you to the glass on both sides of the floor.
Rubio against Teague. Right side Hood. Here's Rubio. And the rejection by Chang. And Derek Favors picks up the foul. That's foul number 2 for him. Timberwolves leading by 18. 1:46 left here in the second. T kicks to Gibson. Over Favors, and again it's Minnesota converting.
You can see the confidence from mid-range. That's a valuable part of Gibson's game.
Rubio against T. Rubio dishes to Gobert, and that one drops.
I mean, the number of points they've scored in the paint already here is eye-opening.
Teague against Rubio. Teague kicks to Wiggins. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up. They get Derek Favors.
Taj Gibson, a high motor guy. He plays physically, and that time the defense got a little too physical in return.
And some changes here for the Timberwolves. Towns, he's checked in for Jang. Muhammad comes in for Andrew Wiggins, and it's Crawford in for Jimmy Butler. Out of bounds, Minnesota takes possession.
And here we have an opportunity to check out Karl Anthony Towns. Great showing for him last season. 6th in rebounding. 12th in scoring, and a great touch around the rim. Top 15 in field goal percentage.
He was a top 10 rebounder last season for good reason. He's an incredibly intense guy to compete with. And for a full game, too. I mean, just non-stop. Towns sets the pick for Teague. Towns, high post. Towns is doubled. Here's Teague. Good, and the assist goes to Towns. Towns has got his 3rd assist on the night.
And Teague is just so calm and collected when he gets near the rim.
Udo gets the bucket. 36 seconds left now here in the second. Timberwolves leading by 20. Towns, the screen. Crawford kicks to Towns. Hangs, and the layup is up and in.
Boy, have they gotten hot here in the second quarter. No wonder they're in front.
There's 21 seconds left in the first half of basketball. Here's Mitchell. Teague covering. Udo kicks to Yarebko. There's the dish to Mitchell. Missed inside. Crawford, no one around him. Got it off in time, but it's no good. And so it's Minnesota cruising into the quarter break with a 22-point. Thanks, David. And we'll be back shortly following halftime to get the third quarter underway.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
After one half of play, it's been a one-sided affair. Hey, everybody. Well, it's Minnesota out in front at the half. They are completely in control of the game, leading by a massive amount. Kenny, what did you see from them?
They had a tremendous first half from the three-point line. Their shot selection was pretty sound, considering.
And that will
Well, we're getting back to the action now. It's been a one-team show so far. We'll see if that changes here in the... Utah shooting under 40% all in all for the game. Teague runs the point with Butler at his side. They're the backcourt. Wiggins at small forward with Gibson at the 4. And it's Towns in at the 5 spot. So that's the lineup for Minnesota. Here's Udo, and he uses the glass on the layup. Udo's got the first points of the second half here for Utah. And the Utah Jazz, one of the top 6 teams in the league last season. But, Steve, they were swept by the Warriors in the second round after the Jazz took care of the Clippers in round 1. How far does this team still have to go to contend for a title, you think?
They've gone from average to very good, but a talent drain this summer with Hayward and Hill moving on. They'll need to regroup, and the West is only getting scarier.
There's a good screen. Mitchell passes to Burks. The 3 from Cephalosha. A rebound by the Timberwolves. Towns has got 6 rebounds now in the game.
It's a +5 advantage for them in rebounding after that one.
And that one goes out of bounds. Last touch by Teague. While there's a break in the action, let's take a look at the players who had the most steals in the league last season. 5th, Jimmy Butler.
He showed such tremendous defensive instincts. Trust me, nobody wanted him guarding them last year.
And Utah making a change here. Gobert, he's checked in for Udo. Favors comes in for Yarebko. Hood's checked in for Cephalosha. And Ricky Rubio subbed in for Alec Burks.
I like Gobert's attack mentality around the rim. You can tell he loves to throw it down.
T kicks to Gibson. Wants to get it to Butler and does. Rebound, Utah. Gobert's got his 6th rebound on the night. Here's Mitchell, defended by Butler. Here's Favors, and a slam dunk by Favors.
Favors using his imposing frame to rock the rim.
Minnesota leading by 18. Butler kicks to T. Back to Butler. Here's Towns. Another miss by Minnesota.
You know, coming out of the half, you want to set the tone for the rest of the game. But going 1 for 4 is the wrong way to do it.
Gibson with the steal. Teague up top. He has 7.
I love the complementary aspect of this group now. You know, you've got the young talent, but you've brought in some veteran leadership here for the Timberwolves. The duo of Wiggins and Karl Anthony Towns kind of gave the confidence to them to go out and acquire a superstar in his prime like Jimmy Butler.
Favors with the screen. Put on the wing. Down low. Nice ball movement by Utah. And Derek Favors with the slam.
Now flying high and throwing it down with the one hand.
One of his favorite moves right there, guys. And Greg, the core of this Timberwolves team is Wiggins and Towns. And, you know, rarely do you get to see 2 #1 overall picks team up early in their careers.
And how about back-to-back years, no less. But I consider Jimmy Butler kind of a foundational piece as well. He's in the conversation for the best shooting guard in our league. And you look back early in his career, Rudy Gobert, he kind of clogged things up just as much at the offensive end as he did defensively. And I tell you what, though, he's made significant strides, becoming much less of a liability on offense.
Jang, he's checked in for Minnesota. Jones comes in for Teague. Wiggins with it. He has 5. Here's Towns. And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. And Gobert last season with career highs in field goal percentage and free throw percentage.
And he averaged double figures for the first time in his career. If you ask me, he'll be a walking double-double in this league for a long time.
And stolen by Butler. Jones against Rubio. Here's Towns, and there's the whistle on the shot. Took the foul, shot misses. He'll be shooting 2. And the foul goes against Utah. This is his 3rd trip to the free throw line in the game. And Steve, in your playing days, you always struck that balance, I always thought, between calling your own number and creating for teammates. That's a real gift.
It is, and I think the value of playing winning basketball, Kevin, is whatever play dictates making your teammates better or making the winning play. I think a lot of guys right now get caught up in stats. Whatever's the play to help your team win, that's the play that needs to be made.
Well said. And once again off the mark by Minnesota. Jazz trail by 20. Feeds it to Gobert. Here's Favors, and then Favors with the dunk.
Unselfish play by Hood. Could take it himself, but finds the open man.
Minnesota's gone 5 of 9 when they put up the 3-point shot tonight. Rubio comes with the double team. Back to Jones. Towns, the screen. Hood against Butler. 5 to shoot. Now the pass to Towns. Over Gobert. That shot is off. Now the Jazz take it the other way.
No other way to put it. Just a poor shooting performance for him. But luckily, his teammates have picked up the slack.
Jones, no one around him. Again, the miss by Jones. And Rubio kicks to Mitchell. That's in, coming off an assist from Rubio. Mitchell's got his first 2 points. Timberwolves leading by 16. Inside, here's Muhammad, and the dunk by Muhammad.
Wow, what a pass there. He made that a very easy basket with that setup.
Utah calls timeout.
And a wise move to call timeout there. They need to settle down a bit. They've been playing out of control at times here, and it shows with their turnover numbers.
And the Timberwolves making a change here. Crawford's checked in, so Utah going with an almost entirely new group here. Udo's checked in for Gobert. Jerebko comes in for Derek Favors. Tavo Sapolosha is checked in for Rodney Hood, and Alec Burks subbed in for Ricky Rubio. Here's Jerebko. Another miss by Utah. Minnesota's gone 0-2 from deep to start things here in the second half. Jones kicks to Towns. Crawford outside. And 2 free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact. Udo picks one up.
Impeccable from the line since halftime.
Shooting for Minnesota.
Free throw good, Wiggins.
And still varying opinions out there of what Andrew Wiggins can and can't do. But one thing that's indisputable, he's an incredible scorer. Whether it's half-court transition, he can flat out fill it up in a hurry.
Burks, and he goes right over Tyus Jones and slams it down.
Blazing first step of Burks, enabling him to lead the defense in his wake.
And the highlight reel replay brought to you by Under Armour. Another Unleash Chaos moment. Excellent work by the talented people in our production truck as well.
And he wasn't about to do anything that would get him in trouble there.
Nope, up and in with a one-hand finish, the most basic possible. He muscles it in through the contact, and they call the foul. And he's on his way to the free throw line. And Wiggins, his young career, just getting better and better at scoring, Greg, while increasing his workload.
Yeah, and very few scorers can do that, especially from that 2-guard spot. Wiggins has that special talent where he can flat out carry an offense. Scary to think that this is a kid who is just scratching the surface. Not surprised at all. He's shooting it well and scoring points in bunches.
And he'll shoot free throws here. Clearly fouled on that shot that time. The whistle blowing. The Jazz have made 7 free throws and missed 3 in this game. And he knocks down the first one.
You know, Thabo Sefolosha is one of the best defensive wings in the league. His offense is just good enough to keep him on the floor.
And the Timberwolves making a change here. Gibson's checked in. Gobert's checked in for the Jazz. And Towns gets it to go.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any individual agenda.
Mitchell dishes to Urepko. And Gibson sends it back.
Nice defense from Taj, one of the best rim protectors in this league.
Wiggins outside. Pass to Crawford. Gibson the screen. Crawford outside. Just 5 on the clock. And stolen by Sefolosha. And it's Mitchell with the jam.
And that's the classic 1-2 punch right there. I mean, nice steal. And then how about the elevation, Kevin, on the finish?
And Greg, nothing spurs some quick offense like a great play defensively.
When your defense translates into offense, it's a beautiful thing.
Here's Crawford. No good off the front iron. And Sefolosha, for a couple seasons in Oklahoma City, before that with the Bulls, was shooting over 40% from 3. Stevie hasn't been able to sustain that shooting range long term, though.
Yeah, you're right. Back in 2015, as you remember, he broke his ankle, but he's still playing good basketball, though. He's a quality veteran to have on your squad.
Just great at getting after it defensively, forcing guys into tough shots.
Yeah, to be successful, you've got to protect the paint. He rises to that challenge.
I'll tell you what, he earned his money on that foul.
And the second free throw, good. T. That shot, no good. It's been all about Karl Anthony Towns for the Minnesota Timberwolves. That quarter had to take a lot out of him. He racked up 12 points. We come back right after this. And now we take a listen into the recent huddle from Tom Thibodeau.
Keep digging, man. Keep fighting. Keep fighting.
Welcome back as we get ready to start the fourth quarter. Not exactly a nail-biter here, but you never know. So on the floor for Utah, Jonas Urepko out there with Rudy Gobert. Then there's Alec Burks. Then it's Thabo Sefolosha. And it's Mitchell in at the 2. We have a step back. That doesn't go in either for T.
You know, this is a time when you don't have to force anything. You're in command of this game.
On the wing, Sefolosha. Covered by Wiggins. Jeff Teague with the rebound. Timberwolves leading by 15. Releases. Not enough on that one as it misses.
Tough miss. He found some space inside the arc, but he couldn't deliver.
And the shot goes in from Rudy Gobert.
He's done his job tonight scoring the basketball, but they've still been outplayed overall.
Teague against Burks. The putback.
And Teague knew that he would be open there. Great patience and vision from the point man.
Burks kicks to Cephalosha. And Karl Anthony Towns pulls it down.
In over his head on the layup attempt there. Too much defensive pressure.
Knocks it loose. Teague can't hit. Jazz trail by 15. In the corner, Cephalosha with it. Jerebko kicks to Mitchell. Gobert the screen. Mitchell passes to Gobert. The shot that time not on target. For Minnesota, they've gone 1 of 4 since the end of the third quarter. To the inside. And good, and it takes a nice bounce off the right iron and down. And that's now 6 points for Taj Gibson. Utah calls timeout. Every NBA player, Steve, believes in themselves, but some take it to the extreme. When they're on, they're on. When they're off and cold, they just kind of lose interest, it seems. Which players do you think have this irrational confidence, if you want to call it that?
I think J.R. Smith, every shot, any shot, anywhere he feels is going in, and he will still take shots. He has amnesia. He could be 0 for 10 and keep shooting the basketball. Jamal Crawford is another guy. Those guys, they keep firing. Damian Lillard, they will keep shooting because they feel the next shot is going in. I'll tell you, at his size, once he gets it in there, it's over.
Timberwolves leading by 15. Outside Teague. Pass to Crawford. He dishes it to Towns. Nice ball movement by Minnesota. He had a nice open look right there. And the Timberwolves lead by 18.
If you give Teague enough room out there beyond the arc, he won't hesitate to make you pay.
Put on the wing. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
I like Rodney Hood. He plays with great patience. He goes through his progressions off the pick and roll. Once he gets past his initial defender, he keeps them walled off behind him and forces the help D to make a decision.
And Hood standing 6'8". Even the defender's breathing down his neck. He can get his shot off without, Steve, too much concern.
You know, the reason why is he's a triple threat. Pass, shoot, drive. He's shown the ability to read the defense and make the right decision.
Towns, left side Gibson. Good, and the assist goes to Towns. Towns has got 5 assists in the game.
Credit the D for being there, but major respect to Gibson for powering through and dropping the bucket.
Rubio dishes to Gobert. Over Gibson. Gobert can't hit. Timberwolves leading by 19 points. Crawford kicks to Towns. That's no good. He's 5 of 10 from the field. Jazz have gone 2 of 7 from the field in what's been a cold start to the fourth quarter for them. Here's Gobert, 6 for 10 with that shot going in. That's a good game for a lot of guys.
It's really been a tale of 2 halves, guys. A slow start, but this quarter, he has really been the man.
T kicks to Butler. And they double up Butler. Towns in the corner. Crawford outside. Clock at 6. Pass to T. The tray. Good D by Rubio.
Obviously, this has been a tough quarter for him, but he's still trying to keep a positive mindset.
Inside. And Derek Favors with the slam.
Able to score in a multitude of ways. Favors causing a lot of problems for the defense.
Teague, the pass to Crawford. Kicks it to Butler. Towns, the screen. To the middle. Second chance shot, and that's 2 points on the layup. Towns has got 14 points here in the second half.
And you like to see since the half now, he's finally starting to come around.
And Rubio kicks to Hood. And so he earns a trip to the line. Official saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2. And Rodney Hood played 1 season at Mississippi State, then transferred, played another season at Duke. A good floor spacer, Greg, at 6'8".
You know, it's his in-between game that impresses me. Able to beat his man off the dribble. He can hit that little pull-up or drop it off to a teammate. This guy continues to improve.
Andrew Wiggins checked in for Jamal Crawford.
A tough first half, but it's been a different story here since the break.
Hood kicks to Favors. Back to Hood. And the whistle blows, so a chance here for a three-point play.
And really trying to work the ball inside here and starting to get results. A lot of that offense coming in the paint here in the second half.
You know, Derek Favors has played alongside a lot of different type of centers. That's why he's worked so hard to add a jump shot, so it's not all clogged up in the middle.
Teague against Rubio. Teague dishes to Butler. In the corner, Gibson with it. Outside Teague. Over Rubio. Teague can't hit. And Steve, when you look at Favors, if you had to pick, do you play him at power forward or do you play him at the 5? Do you play him at the center?
I think in the old days you play him at the power forward position, but I think right now, nowadays, he's maybe a shade better at the center spot. It's close. You could argue either way.
From deep. Minnesota with the rebound. 22 is their biggest lead. And there's the call on Rudy Gobert. That will be foul number 5 on him. And so it's Minnesota with it. The lead is 15. They set the screen. Teague, the pass to Gibson. Back to Teague. 6 on the shot clock. Gibson with the screen on Ingles. Here's Butler. Rudy Gobert with the rebound. Gobert's got 12 rebounds here tonight. Big time effort. And Rubio kicks to Gobert. And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. And Steve, the shot blocker, Rudy Gobert, earning the nicknames like the French Rejection, the Stifle Tower. He says his favorite is Gobzilla. What do you think?
I'm not sure about that one. I like Go-Go Gadget arms, but the Jazz are sure he's their man in the middle going forward. I do know that. They signed him to a 4-year, $102 million extension.
Here's Teague. That doesn't go in either for Teague.
And the truth is, I've been there. He's trying to find the rhythm on his shot. He feels like he's close, and that's why he keeps shooting.
Just great at getting after it defensively, forcing guys into tough shots.
Yeah, to be successful, you've got to protect the paint. He rises to that challenge. Jazz coach Quinn Snyder bounced around as an NBA assistant coach 4 different teams, never staying more than a year. He got his education working under so many great coaches.
And Coach Snyder said that his experience as an assistant coach helped to erase some coaching blind spots.
Well, you take something, Kevin, from every experience, every stop. He's been well prepared to become an NBA coach. Over 2 decades on the bench before taking over the Jazz job.
Whole new look on the floor for Minnesota.
And so just rolling to the finish line now in what has been a very confident-looking performance for the Timberwolves.
Fewer miscues made the difference.
Yeah, I mean, a great all-around effort. Not only did they minimize their turnovers, but kept the pressure up on D, forcing the other team to commit turnovers.
And it'll go down as their first official win of the new year.
They can chalk this one up, but these 2 teams will see plenty more of one another before the season's over.
And what a tremendous standout performance it was for Karl Anthony Towns.
Active hands tonight. He may have gambled a bit, but sometimes you have to take chances to make plays. And he did that tonight.
No good on that one. And the second free throw, good. 19 seconds left in the 4th quarter. And they can just dribble the ball until the buzzer.
Yeah, they got to be happy with the outcome.
Crawford outside. So it's Minnesota winning this one easy. They won this game going. All right, David, great job. Thanks so much. And that'll wrap it up, folks. For Steve Smith, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan thanking you for tuning in. We'll see you later.
solid.